video. Today we're going to see how we can validate our forms with the form manager that is called React Hook Form. And well, first of all, we have to install the package with the command npm install react-hook-form. I have already installed it, so after that npm run dev to start the project. Here I have a simple form with its styles, so let's start. First we have to import use form from React Hook Form, and now we have to register each of the inputs so we have controlled them with this hook. We need the register from use form, and now for each input, first for the name, register receives two arguments. So the first one is the name of the input, so I'm gonna call it name, and the second one are the options that it receives. Now we can put required, that it receives the error message that is shown if it is empty, so name is missing. Let's copy this. We need it for the email, but let's change the name and here also. After that, the password. And confirm password. And here for the radio buttons, as they are from the same group, all of them must have the same name. So here let's remove this and put plan as a name. Let's copy this. Okay. Now we have to handle the submit function. So for this purpose, we have to bring handle submit, and it receives our custom handle submit function. So let's create this const on submit. It receives the data. Let's display in the console the data. Okay, so here in form on submit, receive the handle submit, and let's pass in the our on submit function. Okay, now let's see if it's working. Let's open up a console here. Oh, first I have to save the file. Reload the page. Okay, now let's put here Julian at mail.com, a password, the same password, choose a plan, let's say premium, and submit. Here is the schema that the data is sent. So we have a property for each field, all of them inside an object. So now let's do some validation, because if we try to send the name as empty, let's submit. As we can see, it's not sending anything. So now we have to say the user that is an error. So let's display the error. For this we need to know when an error occurs. So we need from form state the errors, and just down below the input let's put errors. There is one property for each input. So inside errors, in this case, we need name, if it exists, and the message. If inside errors the name property has a message, let's display this inside a p tag. Now let's do the same for all the inputs. First, have to add the class this way, one for email, this is for password, password. Now I'm gonna change this error message. Let's put re-enter the password, and let's set the default values for each input. So here inside use form we could say default values are for name, email, for each one is an empty string, and the last one for plan, let's say is premium in lowercase, because of the value I set them in lowercase. So now let's save this, and let's see if the errors are being displayed. So after we submit, here name is missing. And now let's remove the email. So email is missing. All the errors are being displayed. But if we refresh the page, we can see that if we start typing and then delete the field, no error is displaying. That's because by default, the errors are shown after the user click on submit. So to change this, we could say the mode is on change and revalidate form, the revalidate mode is also on change. Now if we save the file, here refresh the page, and now if we start typing, for example, I don't know, Laura, and after delete, here the error is displaying. So the user has more information before clicking on submit. So here it's the same for all the inputs. Now let's add a custom validation for email. So for this case, we need a function that we can call it validate email. Sorry, here we can put value. Let's validate the email with the regex, email regex. And now let's validate the email with the regex. So return email regex, test the value, and if there is no coincidence, let's say enter a valid email. So now to use this validation function, let's go to email. Here in the options object, we need validate. We will use validate email for validation. Let's save, and now we can see that email is missing. Refresh the page. Let's do it again. So now we put Julian, and now we see enter a valid email. So the validation is working while we are typing at mail.com, and now the error is gone. Great. So for the password we need another validation. Let's create validate password. This way we will require a password with almost a letter in lowercase, another in uppercase, almost a number, and it must have at least 8 characters. So let's put an if statement, if lower. Let's test each of the regex. So if the password has not at least one letter in lowercase, password must have in lowercase. Let's do the same for all the regex. And now for the number, The last one will be if value dot length is less than 8. Password must be at least 8 characters long. Okay, these will be the errors we need to be displayed. So let's validate the password, copy the name of the function, here inside the options, validate password, save, and now let's check if it's working after refresh the page. So if we put an A, must have at least one letter in uppercase, one number, and now 8 characters long. So the errors have gone. Let's remove the number, added the uppercase and the lowercase, now all in now uppercase. So this is working. Cool. Now let's validate the confirm password. For this function, const validate confirmation. For this validation, we need to read the password. So from use form, we also get values, and now here const actual password, we get values. Now we need the password. This way we can read the value for password, so we can check if both of them are the same. So return value is equal actual password, else the error would be passwords don't match. Now validate confirmation goes here inside confirm password. Now if we put here password 1 2 3 4, copy that inside here, paste, now there's no error. So if we start deleting, passwords don't match. Cool. Let's try again. We start typing, so passwords don't match. Now let's see if the form is fully completed and there is no error. The information is sent successfully. We try to submit. There's no sending anything with the errors. Let's put here another one, julian@mail.com, and now Julian. Let's click on submit, and here we have the information with all the fields of our form. So the confirm password is not needed to send, so let's fix this in a moment. Here on submit, we can destructure it, confirm password, and rest from data, and console log the rest, save, and now submit again, and we get no confirm password here. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit on that like button. It helps me to grow. And if you want more content like this, please click on the subscribe button. See you on the next video.